Right, now we have some... we actually have the broadcast, the commentators now. If you could just confirm that, please, Toby, that we actually got some commentary.
I hope so. Basically, what we just did was watch the first set of highlights, and hopefully you realise that was the highlights from race 1 of the previous round at KW Speedway. We'll show the second set of highlights during warm-up for race 1, which will be after qualifying. We've now got a Super Bowl qualifying. Sorry, apologies for that. The server was slightly set up slightly wrong, so we've hopefully got that fixed now. Hopefully you can all hear us.
Hopefully you can. I think we'll have to quickly go through the sponsorship details again, Toby.
Yeah.
If we can.
Right. Okay. Basically,
we have a sponsorship. We have a very big sponsorship deal to talk about. Go ahead, Toby.
Yes, we do. Viper SF have very kindly offered. Have very kindly offered to provide a little bit of sponsorship over the next 2 broadcasts. That's not this one, but the Clio Euro Series week Wednesday and the ATCC round 2 days after on the Friday.
That's the 14th of March and the 16th of March. So go ahead. Yeah,
and basically they're offering to give away a race seat or cash value. Cash up to the value of the race seat, which is about $289, depending on the location. So if you're a winner from the North American continent, you'll get a race seat, or if you're from the rest of the world, you'll get cash up to the value of the seat. And basically, all you have to do is follow the chat and answer a trivia question. Most likely it'll be predicting the winner of race 2 between the 2 races, so you'll have to be on the ball for that. You can pick that up at Race Department's Touring Pro Series broadcast page. There should be a link on the news section, or you can go to www.touringproseries.com/broadcast. And
of course, you've got the chance to win $289, Toby. It's not a small sum, and you're not doing much for it either. You're just predicting the race winner, which it's pretty easy at the moment in Clio's. You just predict Levesque, he says bitterly. But that racing as well is an excellent piece of machine, and the value of it as well is incredible with the aluminium frame, the aircraft grade of it, and also has the extreme vibration technology as well, and also 5 speakers built into the seat, which is unique in the racing seat industry at the moment.
Absolutely, it's a very exciting proposal, not just for the company because they're a new company and they've got this exciting new product that they're trying to put out there, but also for us because it's great to have some backing.
Absolutely.
We've shown the advert, which hopefully had sound already. There will be another commercial in between the 2 races.
Yep. So if you missed that, make sure you check out vipersr.com for those guys who wanted to have a look at it. Even if you don't win, it's worth getting one of those seats for the value that they are. And big thanks to Jason from Viper Technologies for helping us out here. He's a big sim racing nut, and we have many thanks to him for being in partnership with us. And hopefully we can provide a bit of give and take there. And we're going to go back straight to the action because Van Dorn's about to finish his hot lap, and we're going to see what he can produce. It's a 30.433.
Couple of tenths off what he was able to achieve just earlier.
Which is 4 tenths, in fact, actually off the pace he was achieving in practice. So
I think that was a very lucky lap, to be honest. You can cut the corkscrew and gain a few tenths, so perhaps he managed to do that. But
perhaps he did. But he was also the same at Road America, if you remember. Sorry, we'll quickly go to another driver. Also the same at Road America, where he was one of the fastest in pre-practice, but they didn't produce quite the lap time that you thought he might when it came to the Super Pole.
No, whether or not that's just because his
But Tolborg is 7 tenths down. He's struggling to stay ahead of Lucchese here. He'll be way down the field if he doesn't improve his final sector. Let's hope his final sector is good and that it was Van Dorn's final sector that let him down, and he's going to equal it at least, or even better it, because this will not be good news for Jesper Tolborg, who's been in trouble at the KW Super Speedway with the contact that he had. 30.6, so there you go. So obviously Van Dorn really struggled in that final sector. That's where he made the big mistake. That's 6
tenths, look at that.
6 tenths. If Van Dorn it would have 29.8 if Van Dorn had carried on that speed.
I'm surprised at the BMW.
How is that possible?
It's not possible because the final sector is all about traction off the final corner.
Exactly.
And out of the corkscrew, and the BMW.
I've got no idea how he's managed. NATO third. It's up to third. As we were saying, Toby, that the front-wheel drive cars are slower over one lap, but over a run they appear to be a lot more stable and a lot faster because of the high tyre wear that the BMW has. We're going to quickly now jump to Francisco Villar. There he is, Francisco Villar. He's out on track. Let's go on board with him. We'll quickly talk around the track, Toby. You've raced here before in WTM.
Yep, and nearly got a race win. Got through the right winner, just thought I'd put that out there. This next right-hander, it's very quick in these cars. It will be a very slight lift, perhaps, in the BMW. You go through, use all of the curve on the exit, and you're looking for the apex of this left-hander as we break deep.
It's a difficult apex, isn't it? Because
you can turn. There's two lines. You can turn in early, or you can turn in late for the exit.
Well, there's three lines actually. There's my line where you go off on the gravel.
This is flat out left kink. He'll take as much curve as he can. It might not be absolutely flat. Actually, in these cars,
it's a little dab of the gears. You can't actually hear the sound from the view that we see, but we seemed like a bit of a gear shift, didn't there?
We're guessing.
Yep.
Going through the corkscrew now. This is my favourite corner in the world, by the way, Ryan. I don't know if I've ever told you that before. And look at this, he's up.
What's your least favourite corner, Toby?
Might be a track beginning with B. Through this right-hander now, you've got to use all of the camber on the inside. There's a lot more camber than you think there is.
And not that curve as well, because the curve does push you out quite hard, doesn't it? And now this is where it's all about the beautiful apex there, very narrow. It's running a bit wide on the gravel. This is going to be close. Yuri Braham's on pole. I've been talking about that.
What did that happen? Viar's going to take it off him, I think. There we go, first.
But Braham has not showed any speed. Well, not showed any speed at all. That's very harsh indeed. But he's not showed the speed of being challenged for pole position. So Braham, a fabulous lap there from the Dutch Honda driver. Who's left out on track? Who's we got left to go? Where is Keith Barrick? He's 10th. Keith Barrick is 10th. He's messed up his lap. Oh, the Laguna curse is striking again, Toby.
I wouldn't like to repeat what sort of words might be going on in that particular TeamSpeak channel.
Lauritsen now is challenging for pole. He's 2 tenths down though.
I don't think he'll do it. It was very, very good final sector by Via.
It was a very good final sector. Yep, and Lauritsen now coming to the final corner. Will he get ahead of Braham though? His teammate. We could have an FDD second and third here.
Here we go.
Lauritsen now drive toward the line. What has he got? It's a 30.315. So he did actually gain a 10th on VR despite VR's superb final sector.
I think that's because VR, actually, from memory, VR just tabbed a wheel on the gravel on the exit of the final corner, didn't he? So
he did indeed, yes. And he may have hit the curb slightly at the corner after Rainey as well. And Swiderski's out on track also as well. He's 6 tenths down though in the first sector already. Lasky's also almost 6 tenths down in the first sector already. And Caedo's out on track as well. So these are the 3 drivers left. We've got 2 minutes to go in qualifying. Of course, it is Super Pole. For those who are not familiar with ATCC, you get 1 chance. That's all you get. So once you've done your lap, you've done your lap. There's no coming back from it.
Oh, he's 4 tenths down. That's not too bad, actually.
That's very good.
That could put him in the top 5 easily if he gets a good final sector here.
If he gets ahead of Tolbog, Tolbog's final sector was amazing, so he may not get ahead. Yeah. But Vincent Khan is 6th. That's superb there for him because he's head of NATO and he's in the S60, which is not suited to such a technical, twisty, turning track, Toby.
But Vincent Khan, obviously, he's been right up there in previous seasons, so he's obviously got a bit of talent about him.
A little bit. Fifth. He did beat. Oh, he's very, very close to actually getting 3rd. Look at that. A 4.00, a 4.33, and a 4.38.
I know.
So Van Dorn doesn't produce it in the Super Pole again. Perhaps with the inexperience of Super Pole, he's not quite able to put it exactly where he wants to because he did do I remember it at Nürburgring actually when he was faster than everybody by miles in pre-practice. He only just got the lap in that he wanted at Nürburgring. So perhaps he's not quite used to the Super Pole mentality.
From what we saw of Gallardo's, sorry to ignore your point, but
That's all right.
Gallardo's, the rest of Gallardo's lap there, it makes me wonder, because he was 5 tenths down, or quite a lot down early on, and then he caught up, and he's only 2 tenths off pole. And
it makes me think that 29 is perfectly possible, doesn't it?
Well, it also makes me think. It also makes me think that the front wheel drives just aren't getting tyre temperature, or they're not getting a good enough outlap, because we've seen 1 or 2 cars now, front wheel drive cars, really pick up the pace towards the end of the lap, and I would say that the BMW would be best through the final sector.
You would have thought so.
To be that way.
And Swiderski ended up in 21st. Where did Lasky end up? Lasky has ended up in 20th. That's poor, because he's fighting actually with Braham. That's one end of the scale to the other, because he's fighting with Braham for 6th in the championship, and Braham's in 3rd, and Lasky's in 20th. And
it's a bit of a misnomer that Braham in 3rd. He'll be done by Van Dorn off the line most probably. I know it's a rolling start.
It's a rolling start. It could be true. Depends where. Of course, you've got the inside line though, so it depends exactly where VR and Lauritsen position themselves. But last time VR and Lauritsen raced together, Toby.
Yes, they came into contact, and there was a bit of naughty finger wagging towards Lauritsen's direction. So hopefully that doesn't repeat itself here. He
was penalised for that, and he's not been in the league since that first round because, in fact, he's actually he lost his license at Race Department, who are like our FIA, and they decided that he needed his license taken away for a while just to cool down, and he literally by the skin of his teeth scraped into Server 1 for this event. I didn't expect to see him here.
If he does well, he'll stick around because he's obviously got the pace. He's not going to drop out because he'll be at the back of the field. It's actually good to see him in Server 1 actually from our perspective as commentators and viewers.
Absolutely, we've now got six race winners. And we're now into the warm-up. We've got 7 minutes in warm-up, so let's go into the highlights and watch a bit of that. There's the grid for you. We'll run through that very quickly when we can. We'll run you through the race 2 highlights from KW Super Speedway. This is season 4, of course, for those who don't know.
Hopefully, most of you.
There we go. And this is the start of the second race once again. It's Paul Wood on pole position because of his 8th place and the advantage he took of that huge crash in race 1. But it was Van Dorn VR, look there on the right hand side, who immediately mugged Paul Wood at the start. Van Dorn pushed VR immediately from the start. Very intelligent there from Van Dorn VR, despite the fact they're not teammates. Van Dorn decided to do exactly the right thing and get on with it. Now here's Caiado.
Nato was nowhere to be seen from VR, so Van Dorn took the opportunity to be his drafting partner. And actually, you'll see later on that different drafting partners were in different positions. Talk us through this particular one.
This is looking back from Paul Wood and Andre Caiado. More contact from Jesper Torborg on somebody. Gave the back of Caiado a bit of a nudge. That allowed Barrick and NATO to get away. Barrick and NATO then teamed up. As you can see, they're going past Caiado. Caiado just about gives them enough room inside. Squeezes across. Close action at this oval at a very, very high speed. And it was NATO and Torborg that pushed through, because this is what happens to Torborg. Caiado lets NATO go through, but Caiado wants to come back in line, of course, and Torborg tries to sneak in, but just isn't able to, and Caiado almost loses it, a la Via, and Torborg had to lift off, so he wasn't penalised. But obviously he knew he'd be in trouble for the VR incident, so he had to lift off, he wasn't penalised, and that left Torborg a bit stranded, because look who comes up now. It's Blaine and Swiderski. They came up and started trying to draft pass also.
They actually managed to, if you look.
Absolutely. Not Kane, so it's Reggie Blaine, sorry.
Reggie Blaine.
That's right.
And
Blaine. Oh, there's
look at what happened here.
Just
put him in the wall. We saw him go right up to the wall. We wondered what was going on. He dropped right to the back of the field as a result.
Yeah.
This is Van Dorn and VR.
This is the leaders, absolutely. This is the leaders, and they did a great job. But this, just rewind that a little bit. I can't remember how to rewind. We've just seen actually that Amaral was coming out of the pits. Amaral, a teammate of Francisco Villa in Team Portugal, Toby. He's coming out of the pits, but Spin's coming out of the pits somehow, and Villa notices that, and of course he thinks he's going to come across the track. So Villa has swerved now. We're now in the point where Villa has swerved across the track to avoid Amaral.
Yeah.
And this is the result. In the wall, hard.
It's literally just a reaction to flick right. It's like when you see a driving on the road, or if you saw a child trying to cross the road, they might not actually do it, but you're going to slam on the brakes and flick right or flick left to try and avoid them. That's what happened to Villa.
That's slowed Villa down, of course.
It's just a reaction.
A big gap. And Villa then had the damage as well. We couldn't keep up. So Van Dorn got away, but of course he's by himself while Barrick and NATO are pushing each other. And here is that train of cars. And they're now going to come into the pits. NATO was ahead of the group at this time and pushed so hard through the last corner they hit the wall again. Second race in a row. Comes into the pits, braking extremely hard. Just about got the car slowed down. Now, on board with Barrick as he enters the pits now. We're going to look back from Barrick as he exits the pits. And that's NATO in the background now, who comes out of the pits. And then look what happens. He changes into the wrong gear, gets sideways and loses all that gap. And that meant Villa had to wait for NATO. to pick each other up, to push each other again, and that cost them any chance of being able to challenge for the win. Van Dorn was out by himself, of course, comes into the pits, now comes out of the pits, and there's Barrick. Barrick is caught up because obviously he's been teamed up with NATO earlier in the race, and this was the race for the win, wasn't it, Toby?
And this was actually pretty epic. We didn't know, we couldn't
very close,
predict,
wasn't it?
could we?
Very, very close. And here's Barrick making the move for the lead, or trying to make the move for the lead at one point. But of course, Van Dorn was very clever, using the traffic look.
And he used all of his brains actually for this one, because Barrick has obviously been at KW Speedway several times before, knows how oval racing works. He's awful new to the series, and it was anyone's guess really who was going to win. Barrick actually seemed not to make this move early enough.
He made the move perhaps too early. He was saying that in the later shot, he says he should not have let Van Dorn pass here. He should have defended. His dad was berating him after the race, saying he should have defended down the inside there, not let Van Dorn get any ground at all, because Van Dorn now has the inside, and then tries to make it, but doesn't make the run there. But then he makes the run this time, and Barrick had the warning that Van Dorn was going to try and make a pass before and managed to get away with it, and then perhaps he thought he could do the same thing here. This is where Van Dorn makes the move. This is the race-winning move.
He got much more of an overlap this time round and shuffled Barrick a little bit.
Look how close that is. Look how beautifully close that is.
I know, but he was just drifted up on the exit of the corner and just got the overlap. And Barrick was unable to use the high line, which gives you a slightly better exit of the corner, and that's how close it was.
And now Van Dorn defended. I mean, he used his brains. He knew he would not want Barrick going past him. So Van Dorn defended. He took the tighter lines into the corners. It almost costs him on the exit of this corner, as you can see. As we come up out of the corner, here we come. Just about manages to get enough speed to be able to defend, just moved slightly across when Barrick moved slightly across. And he was able to defend beautifully into the final corner. It was a superb defending move without being too harsh. And Barrick tried to go around the outside, then cut back. But it didn't work, as you can see, because he didn't get back down to the apex. And Van Dorn took the win. So that's his second win in the series. And on his oval debut, he takes the win.
And congratulations to him. He used his brain, and Keith tried to use his knowledge of ovals, but just didn't quite make it work in the end. And
didn't quite make it work.
No.
We're now in the warm-up, so that's perfect time because we've got 1 minute here to discuss the grid quickly. Yep. And it's VR who's on pole position for this event. I believe that is his second pole of the year, because he got one at not Road America, so KW Super Speedway also as well. And we've got Lauritsen there at the front of the grid also as well, on the second row, and in second place on the first row. Also a good qualifier, Lauritsen, because he qualified very well at Road America as well. He took pole position there, in fact.
Certainly did. Him and Vio obviously came together in that race as well, so it'd be interesting to have them on the front row. Stoffel Van Dorn in fourth position as well. We'll be looking to get on the back of those two BMWs, and Braham's a bit sort of the lost sheep, isn't he?
Well, he has his teammate there within Lauritsen, so I wonder if they're going to work together at all. But Braham is not unexpected, because he is a former ATCC race winner. He did come fourth in the championship last year. He's often on the podium, lots and lots of podiums in the ATCC. But on recent form, and on the form we saw in pre-practice, it's a bit of a surprise. But Kaido 5th and 6th with Tolborg, 7th is Khan, 8th is NATO, 9th is Gonçalves, 10th Amaral. So we've got all Portugal 5th row there. 11th Garner, 12th Keith Barrett, the championship leader. 13th Lucchese, 14th Gary Lennon, 15th Eric Nelson, 16th Reggie Blaine, 17th Duarte Lopez, who showed a bit more promising speed than that in pre-practice. He was slightly disappointed with that, I fancy. 18th place Robert Isles, 19th place Hugo Barbosa, teammate to Lopez, 20th Lasky, 21st was Swiderski, 22nd was Lucchese, 23rd. Who's 23rd? I couldn't quite see. I can't remember who's 23rd, but Carver was there also as well.
Carver was there as well, yeah.
And also Paul Wood, perhaps. Paul Wood 24th, yeah. I think. So Carver 23rd, Paul Wood 24th.
Correct us if we're wrong.
Please do. And we're now going to go to the race. Before we go to the race, obviously we've got 2 minutes for people to join the grid. We're going to quickly show you the on the grid, and we're all ready set to go. We're going to quickly show you the point standings before this race, and here are the point standings. There is confirmation of Keith Barrick's lead in the championship. He's not won a race this season so far, but I'm pretty sure he'll take not winning a race all season for that championship win, Toby.
He's only 4 points ahead of NATO, but it's really consistency that's got Barrick there. NATO's had the pace, but he's been up and down a little bit. VR's been in the wars as well. He's had such bad luck, the wheel falling off his desk, for example.
Contact with Lauritsen, contact with Braham, contact with Talborg.
It's not all. None of it's really been his fault, but he's still in the hunt. And Talborg and obviously Van Dorn can do something from there as well. He's obviously shown pace, so it's really a top four with Van Dorn as an outsider, and then you've got FDR Canden and Team Portugal 1 just romping away with the team championship.
But it's very close. Look at that.
Race.
Just 9 points in it. Though.
It is very close, but it's still a two-horse race.
Absolutely. You've got the crucial aspect there, though, Toby. Sorry to interrupt, but the crucial aspect there for NATO, he has more to lose, if that makes sense, with the poor results. Because he's dropping in 8th place, and whatever else he's dropping, he's got less to play with, if that makes sense. Barrick, VR and Talbot got more to play with. They've got a higher score to drop, if that makes sense. They almost gain points if they finish in 4th, because it won't get counted. Van Dorn also not able to do much wrong with the rest of the season, so he's going to have to be on the ball all the way there, because he's got to make up a 45-point gap. And they only got 8 races to go, and you know how close the points can be.
He can still do it, but it's whether or not he'll be able to. Right, off from the start and
off from the look at that timing, Toby. Look at that timing. Am I the master? Am I the master?
Apart from the fact that no one could hear us for ages, but never mind.
That wasn't my fault. I blame the series organizer Keith Barrick, who's in 12th position at this track.
He can't hear us until he watches it back on YouTube later. So until then.
And also Keith says he gives me a quick message. Last sector again. He said he was on course for about 6th position on the grid, and lost his head in the last sector.
Well, 6th position is not good enough anyway for a championship leader.
It's better than 12th.
Well, it is better than 12th. I think there are 11 positions better than 12th, there aren't there, Keith?
There are, and it's not the position he needs to be in. He needs to be winning races, because we've got VR, Lauritsen, Braham. What he'll be hoping is that Braham can get in the mix, and also Lauritsen, because Lauritsen is not in the championship hunt. And he'll be hoping that Lauritsen takes points off VR, Talborg, and NATO, of course. And NATO's not that well qualified either, so I mean, it's not terrible news. I mean, the fact that VR's right out front is terrible news for him, but the fact that Talborg's only 6th and NATO only 8th, so it could be a lot worse.
What I would say about Keith being back where he is that he would, before this event, if you offered him an 8th and a 1st place, he'd take it, wouldn't he? Because he's had consistent results most of the season. He's got a couple of drop scores that he can drop. He might as well use one of those sort of wild card drop scores at a track he doesn't like, finish in 8th position, get in the reverse grid, because obviously the top 8...
Good theory.
The top 8 are reversed for the second race, so...
Well, let's have a look at the guys who are around him. We've got Gonçalves and Amaral. They're not going to give him an inch, because they're Team Portugal teammates. You've got Rhys Gardner, who also wants to prove himself, because he often qualifies well and races poorly, so hopefully he'll be able to show his promise. He's got Lucchese and Lennon around him. Lucchese, in fact, was disqualified from KW Super Speedway for his aggressive driving, so hopefully he doesn't get involved with Barrick. Lennon never gives an inch either. So Reggie Blaine's in that area also as well. So we all know how tough a racer Reggie Blaine can be. So he's in the danger zone, Toby.
It's not going to be easy, but he would fancy himself to be a bit quicker than some of those guys, I should think.
Absolutely, anyway, it's a very tight track as well.
Field comes to the final corner, talk us through it, Ryan.
We're going to come to the start line now. Everyone's forming up. We've got 2 BMWs at the front, BMW and a Honda in behind, and then the Chevrolet and another Honda, and VR's going to lead the field away, and VR has not started very well at all. What on earth happened there? Either Lauritsen jumped the start, or VR was just sleeping, and VR was on the outside as well.
Oh, in the background!
Gardner's off! We were just talking about Gardner, how he doesn't get the look in the races, and we're just going to quickly go back through the field. There is Gardner at the back of the field. No damage, thankfully, but he's right at the back of the field. So that's not worked out well for him.
Khan! Well. Is that Khan?
Is that Khan?
Vincent Khan!
It is Vincent Khan. Oh,
that guy does not get any luck.
The crowd favourite. He gets no look at all, but it's 3 BMWs leading. Lauritsen, Van Dorn, VR. In that order. But it didn't look like Lauritsen or VR or Van Dorn jumped the start, because it just looked like VR was asleep. And why did he choose the outside as well? That's very strange. I have
no idea about any of that.
Hopefully we'll get a bit more analysis after the race. We'll get a word with those guys, but it didn't look like to me that Lauritsen jumped the start, and because Van Dorn got past VR as well, and Lauritsen pushing very hard on these opening laps. He knows he needs to push hard because he's got Van Dorn, former race winner, and also real life Formula Renault Euro Cup driver Stoffel Van Dorn, touted as a future Formula 1 star, and he's racing here in the ATCC, trying to win at Laguna Seca. VR is racing the Formula 3000, and he's also trying to obviously win his ATCC championship.
Well, what can you say about a start like that?
Barrick up to 8.
I know, that's exactly
start.
where he needs to be. He'll fancy himself to finish in 8th, actually.
That's a beautiful position to be in, not just because he's in 8th, but look at the gap behind him.
And look, and he's got quick guys in front of him as well. He won't want to push too hard, but he'll be able to tag on the back. He won't be held up by them.
I think he's got
them around.
Got out of jail a bit there, don't you think?
Oh, I wonder if he was involved with the Reece Gardner thing on the first lap. Normally I shut up for the whole of the first lap and let you talk it through. But that was extremely exciting early on, and Gardner, obviously you've got to feel sorry for the guy.
Amaral was around him also as well, and he's dropped back, so there's things to be discussed there, isn't there? Unfortunately we can't have replays in race, which is extremely annoying for these broadcasts. We can have them in our factory, not in race, but we manage as best as we can without. We can only surmise. But Gonsalves was also around. Amaral and Gonsalves were 9th and 10th, with Gardner 11th and Keith in 12th. So something has gone on there. Somebody's made contact with Reece Gardner and sent him pirouetting into the gravel. But clearly something has happened now, and hopefully we get a bit of analysis of that after the race. Oh, and who's that? That's
happened there? Is that Via?
Torbog's
Via
hit somebody. I think it's
Via. It's Via.
Via's off. What on earth's happened there? Via's
gone.
Filling the
there he is.
The track also as well. Was that Elio Lucchese?
Elio Lucchese as well. Why was Lucchese just spun in the gravel like that? Through the corkscrew. I mean, we saw Lauritsen squirming under braking. I can't believe he lost it under braking and got involved with contact with Talbot.
As VR lost it by himself, he had a decent gap over Talbot. Did Talbot hit him? Did VR spin and block the track and Talbot be slowed up by it?
That's
what seems the most plausible thing to me. Sorry,
that's
Toby.
what I'm thinking. That's alright. That's what I'm thinking. Because the BMW is rear-wheel drive. As you brake and you shift down, if you grab a gear shift, it locks the rear and it just squirms a little bit. And it could easily be that VR into the corkscrew, which is a very difficult corner. I know, looking 17th position and championship favourite. Well, one of the championship favourites as well.
He's just not getting the look this season, is he? I mean,
either what that does,
of his own accord or not.
What that does is it promotes Keith Barrick up into 7th position as well, and Talbot up in the mix as well, and NATO as well. So VR will be very disappointed to lose out so much to all his rivals.
And Reggie Blaine way back as well. He's been involved somewhere.
Considering VR's already dropped scores that he won't want to keep, if that makes sense.
I think he's one of the ones who's got quite a high drop score point, so quite a high drop score level. So it's not disastrous, but of course he needs to get in that 8th position because he dropped both his drop scores. Will be this event otherwise, because he won't get the 8th position and he won't be at the front of the field again. But a pole sitter, and I mean, as Murray would say, he gets all the look, and it's all bad.
It can't be as bad as Vincent Kahn, who's also down in 20th position, and he's had terrible luck this season as well. Lauritsen and Van Dorn, though, 1-2.
This is
BMW.
A head-to-head.
Quick young guys coming into the
17,
ATCC.
A champion karter. Van Dorn, 19. A champion single-seater. And they're racing for the win here at Laguna Seca. They are mullering the field right at this moment. Gallardo is 3.6 seconds back. Braham is still in 4th. NATO is in 5th. Barrick's now in 6th because Torborg has dropped back down to 11th.
He must have made a secondary mistake, or he's got huge damage. I would consider
he's got any damage on the car.
No, so I think he's just made a secondary mistake after being maybe shook up by Beal.
Let's go in swing cam and have a look. Let's just turn off.
A bit of damage on the front.
Well, he has got quite a bit of damage on the front of that.
Okay, that confirms.
Ooh, that's hard damage.
Yeah, that confirms what I think happened. I think VR lost it either under braking or on the curbs for the corkscrew.
Yeah.
And Talbot's gone to the side of it.
I can't imagine Talbot hitting somebody that hard in a racing contact.
Not
because that's big damage on the front of that car.
No, that's VR's lost control. And Talbot's going to the side of it. Through this corner now, the corkscrew, you can see the car lift off the ground. So.
Oh, Nelson and Lennon, a team into battle here. And there's Lennon in the grey and blue Aerospeed car. We've got Nelson in the white and blue Aerospeed car. And these two are hard at battle also as well. Lennon from Scotland, Nelson from the USA. So we've got many varieties in this field, of course. It's called the American Touring Car Championship, but it's a worldwide field. And Nelson's got the run off the corner. He's got the inside line now down the the kind of straight here. It's flat out. It's not very straight, but it is flat out. Down towards the Andretti hairpin. And it looks like to me Nelson has that. Nelson has the point. So Nelson goes up to 8th, which is crucial. And Torborg needs to get that 8th. Somebody is also pitted as well. We're missing all the action here. Villa's up to 16th now. He's in behind Lasky, Amaral, and Barbosa. If he can get past Lasky, he shouldn't have too much difficulty getting past Amaral, Barbosa, and Lopez, and Gonçalves. I mean, I'm sure they will help him get past. So I'm not sure that will be too much difficulty. But getting past Lasky is never an easy task, is it, Toby?
He's only made one position up though. If you look from where he dropped back to, he needs to do a little bit better than that. We're coming up to halfway through the race. He's got quite a lot of damage. It looks like.
Has he got damage on the front?
The green section.
Front right of it. It does looks like it does, doesn't it? Let's have a quick look at that also as well in swing cam view.
Right, it looks like. Yeah, there you go.
We do have quite a bit of damage there on the front right. He's caved in that side. So he's hit the wall as well, I think. He's got damage on the back, of course, as well. That's the damage that's the matching damage from Torborg. That is right in the back. This is interesting. This is intriguing because
now I'm thinking that maybe yes, but up in front you've got Duarte Lopez and
those guys battling very, very hard indeed.
We're just looking at the shape and back of his car. He's pitting now, so
it might be only for 13th position, but it's no less hard than for the win. And a very poor pit there also as well.
He's got an unhelpful pit box, I was going to say, but he's actually just.
And into the pits he comes. So we'll track that as we can.
Let's go back to the front.
Loris still leads. There's not much to see at the front of the field. We've got Lauritsen and Van Dorn just about a second apart, mullering the rest of the field. Kaido heading that 4.9 seconds back, and it's Braham, Nato, and Barrick in behind. These are the 4 who are battling for that final podium position. And Barrick is loving this.
But you get the feeling that Barrick's got something up his sleeve, don't you?
He qualifies 12th. He's up to 8th in the opening laps. Torborg and Villa have some kind of incident which we don't know about. Lauritsen's leading, taking points off all his competitors. I mean, he's got to love this. He couldn't have, after the poor qualifying, it couldn't have gone any better.
He could be ahead of NATO, but then he might not want to be. He might want to be that extra position ahead. What it does mean...
Would you like to be ahead of NATO?
What it does mean is that down in the bottom... I see
no,
what you're saying there.
NATO has been superb in the last few races, quite frankly, to be fair. So we'll give him his due. We're just teasing you there, Miguel.
But anyway, with Barrick, he's got no BMWs immediately around him.
Oh, Van Dorn sideways off the corner. Wow. That's not going to help the tyre wear at all, which is very high on these cars. So
that will have been off the curb, I should think. But he hasn't been into the pits. This will be his final lap, so just use up the rubber while you can.
It depends what tyre you're changing. Sorry, Toby.
The point I've been trying to make for about 3 laps is that Barrick hasn't got any BMWs around him. It's obviously a standing start for race 2, and the BMWs do have an advantage off the line. And obviously Lauritsen and Van Dorn will be at present, provisionally, they'll be 7th and 8th on the grid. And Barrick will be in 3rd. So Barrick will have quite a few cars between himself and the quick BMW guys. So he has definitely got a chance from race 2, hasn't he? With Lucchese and Nelson provisionally pole and 2nd. I think Barrick fancies his chances to be.
Lennon's pitted, I think. Lennon has pitted. So he's Gonçalves in 9th. So Lennon's going for the short pit this time around. He usually goes for the long pit, actually, Lennon. So interesting to see that. And the Glory Hunter wants to lead some laps. Yeah. He's just like me, just like leading laps. We don't want to win a race.
No.
And there's Hugo Barbosa and Pedro Amaral still hard at battle. These two aren't giving an inch. You've got Lasky behind them also as well. Isles is right there. Khan is in behind him 15th. A bit of a lonely 15th, but able to lap by himself and perhaps make up some ground. And he had a superb qualifying performance. I was very impressed because that S60 is not suited this track at all. It's suited to very fast tracks like Watkins and like Road America. And of course, all the viewers know the poor look he's had there. But Torborg has pitted, and he's in 17th now, pushing very, very hard. He's actually ahead of Lennon after those pit stops. He was behind before the pit stop. So that's a gain for Torborg. He's going to be able to challenge Nelson for that 8th, surely.
We'll see where he comes out actually after the pit stops have shuffled themselves around. But he's got a fair distance to VR, isn't he, as well? I don't think the gap was that big. So
Amaral into the pits.
That's an excellent pit stop.
Amaral into the pits, and now we're on board with Kane Lasky, looking at the back of Duarte Lopez's car. Oh, he's getting out of shape there down the inside. Looks like he may have gone over the white line of us slightly as well. Oh, contact!
Oh, contact!
There we go. Off the track. goes Hugo Barbosa, not Duarte Lopez, sorry, Hugo Barbosa, and more contact from Kane Lasky in the ATCC. I mean, we've come to expect it. But he might have. It seemed like he was down the inside quite. He is on his final warning, unfortunately. But he did seem like he was clear down the inside in that particular case. Oh, Barbosa is rattled. He's rattled. He's pushed too hard, and Khan goes through. Khan says, "Thank you very much indeed. I'll take that position." And that's Barbo. That's what happens. Is you just get a bit rattled, and that's what happens.
He was so far off track there that it looked like he
almost like he forgot what corner it was. And Iles is going to pass Lasky as well. Into the Rahal straight it goes. Oh, Iles is going to run wide, and Lasky's going to get the cut back. Lasky's going to take the position back once again. Australian versus American, and he's did it. Good racing there from these two, both in the Honda. Robert Iles.
Oh no! Oh, what a save!
Great save there down the corkscrew. He saved it. Superb stuff. And now Khan's loving this. Khan says, "Thank you, boys. Sew yourselves up. Give me all these positions back. What I'm going to do is catch up and then pit."
How the hell did Lasky save that one? It threw the corkscrew, one of the most difficult corners in the world, I would say. And the contact into the pit lane! Leave him alone!
Well. Boys, he's just feeling left out. He's just feeling left out. Can't see all his contact, and he's been a bit lonely. How would he get involved? But into the pits has come Lauritsen and Van Dorn. In fact, all the leaders come into the pits, and it's very much status quo. Down. This is tricky though. The pit exit is tricky. Look at the cars wobbling under braking as they come into the van or come into the round there. And we've got Torborg here in 7th, it seems like. 7th position for Torborg. It's right next to Alessio Lucchese. He's beaten Alessio Lucchese out of the pits. So Torborg's in 8th. So that's a net 7th because Lasky hasn't pitted yet. But here's Braham and Barrick. Barrick's got ahead of Braham in the pits. Barrick has got ahead of Braham in the pits. I don't know, we didn't quite see what happened, but Barrick and Torborg at Nürburgring, the Team Portugal drivers had unearthed the possibility of turning your pit speed limiter off a few meters before the actual the game turns the pit speed limiter off, so gaining around about half a second at least. I wonder if Barrick had utilised that here today, because he said him and Torborg had also been using that technique.
How did we find out about that? Did they give that information away freely?
I think Barrick told me about that. Told me VR was doing that. Whether Barrick figured that out for himself or VR told Barrick, I'm not quite sure. But now Braham's back to 7th when he was in 4th, and Kayaba's back to 5th when he was in 3rd.
And it's all a net gain of 1 position as well, because Lasky's glory hunting at the front.
Lasky's in the front of the field. He's pulling across to let Lauritsen go through. Lauritsen flashes. Oh, that was really slow then for a second, didn't it?
I think it's. What is Lasky doing?
Lasky's just letting the drivers through for some reason. Not quite sure why he's doing that. If I was him, I'd just be racing hard because he's going to ruin his own race here. But he is letting all the drivers through anyway. Whatever we think of it, Lauritsen flashes his lights in gratitude. 1.2 seconds now between Van Dorn and Lauritsen. So Lauritsen's had a better pit phase than Van Dorn.
I think Lauritsen was a little bit lucky with Lasky there, and I think Van Dorn will. Oh no, he's gained 3/10. Oh, never mind. Once again, I opened my mouth. I'm about to make a point.
Open your mouth just before the sector split.
to me, it looked like Van Dorn got held up more by Lasky there, but what do I know?
Oh, contact between Caiado and Barrick. Barrick is a bit of a nudge there too. The Portugal driver.
Has he got an overlap?
Oh, he's not got an overlap. No, you have to be completely alongside to make an overlap through there. Caiado pushing so hard. Look at the cruise with its back end stepping out.
Barrick looks a lot
straight
more
down
racy
towards
now.
Corkscrew. Barrick stalking Caiado, looking for a way past. He knows he needs to get near NATO. He cannot let NATO get too far ahead. He cannot let NATO have a car between himself and a car between him and himself, because they are fighting for the championship. And every point counts, as you can see at the championship. There's a 4-point gap only.
Yeah, between him and between himself and obviously it's NATO, isn't it? In second
it is NATO, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So Barrick doesn't. Although Barrick's in the 5th position because Lasky's now pitted, and NATO's in 3rd, that's still that he'll want to close up and get into that 4th position to get by Caiado. But Barrick looks a lot more racy after the pit stops than he did before. I think he was just pacing himself.
Torborg is 7th. 8th is Lucchese. VR is way back. I
think that damage has really hindered him. Look, and he's been battling as well. Well, you'd think his Team Portugal teammates would help him out. I don't know whether he's been battling or not, really.
don't know whether they are helping him out or not. It might be. He's kind of the team leader in Team Portugal. So I wonder if he's telling them not to help him. But I'm sure if he gets close to Gonçalves won't battle too hard. But he's got to get past Nelson and Lennon to get even near Lucchese. Sorry.
That's right. The way to tell if he's got aerodynamic damage is to go on board with him as he come into Rahal Straight. So then you'll be able to see if he's in the draft.
We're going to come up to Rahal Straight in just a few moments. We are now at the King, turn 7. And you can see the suspension working overtime through there.
Normally you'd expect the car in front to break the airflow and allow the car behind to gain a few metres because of the draft effect. The car in front pulls you along. Through that straight, I know VR was a little bit shoddy out of the left-hander, but it did look to me that Gonçalves were pulling away a little bit.
Let's see if he gain a little bit down this race. He's out the slipstream now. That's the only problem. It's not a very scientific procedure we're employing here, unfortunately.
we're watching 3 pixels and going, is it bigger or not?
Yeah, we don't get any sound also, so you guys get the full experience. Us commentators get the worst experience, quite frankly, because we have to stay up until this time. You can watch it on YouTube. We don't get any of the beautiful crystal clear pictures that Multi-BC gives, and we don't get any sound, do we, Toby? It's a hard life.
We sort of pretend, don't we, sometimes? Or we missed a gear, we're not sure, we just make it up.
we just like to excite people. And Lennon's in 9th, he's ahead of Nelson. I'm not quite sure what's happened here, because Nelson was quite away.
Look at
the gap, it's big. It's a big gap. Excuse me. And Lucchese now in 8th, of course, so he's got that pole position for the next race.
Sorry to interrupt. 4 tenths between Van Dorn and Lauritsen at the front of the field.
Thanks for pointing this out. There we go.
A battle for the lead.
Lauritsen, we saw it with America in race 1. His tyre wear was a lot higher than VR's. We saw that in race 2 at Road America, he did correct that, and he was actually quicker than VR. So I wonder if he's got the same issue as race 1 at Road America. He's just gone a bit too aggressive for the setup, and then for race 2 he'll just pare it back a little bit. But we'll see here, because Van Dorn is looking a bit more composed, I have to say, than Lauritsen.
I actually think Lauritsen's a little bit more hot, as you say, a little bit more hot-headed. It's a different way of wording. It's the same point, but
a little more hot-headed.
But Van
Toby
Dorn,
Davis, poet laureate,
scientific once again, as always. But obviously, we've seen Van Dorn take a couple of wins in the ATCC so far, and he definitely was using his head at KWC's Super Speedway. Mm-hmm. So, and Lauritsen, we've seen him make contact with Via, and he's been in trouble with race department as well. So yeah,
exactly. I wonder if that'll prey on his mind.
Perhaps. I don't know how hard he's going to race Van Dorn. I should think very. I mean, if I was racing,
he wants to prove himself. You want to come back and do well, don't you? I mean, he was superbly quick here last year, but he was in Server 2, not able to show that pace. And he's showing that pace, live on air. And if I was him, I'd want to prove that I am the equal of this, because I mean, not just in sim racing. These guys are real life race drivers as well. I'm racing Van Dorn, who's a single seater champion. I can do that as well. I can keep my head. I can race hard. I have the speed. It's almost a battle of pride.
That's the thing about sim racing, though, isn't it? It's just anyone can do it, really. I mean, these guys have got the opportunity to race in real life, but most people who sim race, they do it because they don't have the opportunity to race in real life.
Absolutely.
And Van Dorn proving that you can be good at one and good at the other. Same for Lauritsen. So I'm useless in real life.
Oh, yeah, you are, and sim racing as well. And Van Dorn getting out of shape for the final corner once again. He seems to do that quite a lot. Is anybody back? The Barrica's got past Caiado.
Oh, look at this!
Barrica's got past Caiado, and I think maybe that happened just recently, because Braham's now got past Caiado as well. Torborg is squeezing against the wall. Oh, that was very, very close indeed. Caiado decided, I want that line. You're not having it.
Caiado's going to be careful to run wide.
It's amazing that Torborg's able to keep so close to this crib. Look at the front of his car; it's ruined.
He's in the slipstream though, isn't he?
That's true, but still.
Look at that line from Talbot right under the bumper.
Beautiful.
Of Caiado.
You can see how beautiful the line is, and then just halfway through the corner, he just gives up grip. It seems, because that's the damage coming into play.
I think the Cruise is very good on the exit of corners actually as well. It behaves a little bit like a rear-wheel drive car in that respect. The Honda obviously very good turning, so it's slightly different characteristics of both cars, but it's nip and tuck.
How close it is.
You can't say with the damage. Oh, look at them bumping over the curb.
Sideways.
Ricardo onto the gravel.
Pushing
Here
hard
comes Talbot.
We're almost going to the penultimate lap here. Oh, it's side by side through here.
This is not going to work.
This is not going to work for one of them. Kaido goes deep. Oh, they're going to drill the back of Braham then for a second. And he keeps the position though. He keeps the position. I think Talbot's struggling to make a decisive pass just because of that damage. Look at the mid corner of that car. It's really struggling. The aero, I think, is hurting at every time it goes mid corner, just washes ever so slightly, despite the fact his turning is perfect.
There's a lot of understeer going on in that car. Understeer obviously being the car not turning enough at the corner. The car just wants to go straight on into the gravel on the exit of the corner. And yeah, Talbot is struggling with that, and that front aerodynamic damage that will want to push the car into the ground normally is unable to do so. Look at this battle for the lead. Who's going to come on top of this one, Callan? You predict.
I'm going to go Van Dorn. I'm going to go Van Dorn.
I have to say, Van Dorn looking very strong right now. He's pulled up.
I know. Alexander's not going to be pleased with me for saying that, but I'm just going to stick my neck out and say Van Dorn. What do you think, Toby?
I have to agree. We've seen him. He's got form in the ATCC, and he's picked up.
But where though? Where?
Well,
I mean, without Lawrence making a mistake, where does he make the pass? I mean, I've tipped Van Dorn to do it, but I mean, I'm struggling to see because Lawrence is driving beautifully.
It's the only opportunity. There's two.
Oh, Lauritsen.
See, we're getting
get that stopped. But you've actually gained time on Van Dorn.
That's what I'm just going to say. He's been doing it all race, Ryan. He's got a very rearwards brave and sort of dangerous rearwards brake bias. That was
dangerous as well. It looked like he was pushing a bit too hard.
See the rear squirming about, but he's using it to chuck the front of the car in.
He's locking up that rear left again, and Van Dorn's gaining him as a result of that scrappy sector through there. Final lap. Lap 17 we're going on to right now.
And this is one of his two opportunities, and he's not close enough.
Nowhere near
down
close
into
enough.
turn one, the Andretti hairpin.
Look at Lauritsen! Oh, I thought he was going straight on! I thought he was going straight on. He's getting too excited. Calm down, Ryan. Calm down.
Right, now Van Dorn needs a very, very clean section here if he wants to be onto the back of him, coming onto the Rahal straight, coming towards the corkscrew. That's the second of his two opportunities, major opportunities. We saw Zanardi in '96 doing an excellent move in the IndyCar.
That was not an excellent move. That's the dirtiest move I think I've ever seen for a race win. In fact, it was worse than your move on Van der Linde in WTM Season 2.
Can I explain what happened? He completely failed to brake for the corner, went over the gravel, and somehow they let him get away with it. But anyway, this is where he needs to be close.
He's out of shape. He's out of shape. Lauritsen's out of shape, but Van Dorn was out of shape even more. It looks like Lauritsen's going to take the win. This will be Lauritsen's first win in the ATCC if he manages it. His first TouringProSeries win, of course, because he's only competing in the ATCC. He's gone sideways again. How is he hanging on to that car? He's pushing so hard. Just knock it back 1% and you'll still win. Calm down, Alexander. The Danish driver is the complete opposite to Jesper Talbot. He's not cool, calm and collected at all. But he is extremely quick, just like Talbot. And he's coming towards the final corner. Drifting into the final corner like a MotoGP driver. And he's going to come to the line. And Alexander Lauritsen flashes his lights, takes the win here in the first race at Laguna Seca, and takes his first ATCC win. Stoffel Van Dorn not quite able to take the win away from his BMW team. Talbot and Barrick. Barrick almost got done by Yuri on the final corner. Less than a tenth between them. Kaido and Talbot also 6th and 7th, very close. I think Barrick had to go at NATO because they were very close to sector times at the end of sector 2, and Barrick almost got done by Braham as a result. Very close indeed. 9th place was Gary Leonard. 8th place, though, crucially, Alessio Lucchese. And VR didn't manage to get anywhere further than 12th. But he'll be very disappointed with. He needs a rocket start in this second race, and he needs to get in the top 4.
He might get with that rear-wheel drive BMW car.
But it's a narrow grid. That's the thing. It's a narrow grid, and it's not exactly straight either, is it? It's not exactly like there's much room in turn 1 either. It's going to be difficult. 14th Amaral, 13th was Lopez, 15th in the end was Vincent Kahn. It was a decent recovery from Kahn. 16th was also Blaine. He also had to recover. 17th Lasky, 18th was Reece Gardner, 19th Hugo Barbosa, 20th was Robert Isles, 21st Lucchese, 22nd Michael Carver, 23rd Darius Swiderski, and 24th was Paul Wood. and we will be right back after this. So that's the Touring Pro Series in association with ViperSR.com. Toby, just sum up that race for us. Plenty of championship-changing action.
Where do you start? Do you start with the first lap shenanigans? We had Reece Gardner off into the gravel. And we had.
Let's start with VR. The connotations
VR,
for VR.
Okay.
I mean, the second race as well, of course.
We don't know what happened to VR, of course, but we assume that he was involved in an incident with Talbot. It looked like their two cars matched each other in terms of dents. So
it did look like a jigsaw piece, didn't it? Jigsaw pieces.
It did, and we can only assume that those two came together, but it really does change the championship hunt, because Vieira only got into 12th position, and obviously with Keith and Nato being in the top 8, and Talbot in the top 4, I should say, and Talbot being in the top 8 as well, he's going to lose out big time, and Van Dorn as well, of course, being in second position, he's got an outside chance for the championship, but I was very impressed with Lauritsen and how he controlled the field, and kept his head at the end as well. Every single corner he looked like he was going to lose it in his braking.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know whether that was the engine braking or his brake bias or a bit of both, but it certainly was something to watch, and congratulations to him. He kept his head in the end.
Alessio Lucchesi finished 8th in race 1, which means he's on pole position for this second race, and this is him able to make up for, of course, his deeds at KW Super Speedway, which saw him disqualified from one of the races. So he's really making up for it very much here with 8th place on pole position here, and able to get away from the grid now, and away from the grid they go. Van Dorn with a great start down the outside. Van Dorn's going to be leading by the first corner. Look at this. Van Dorn from 7th to 1st. Before the first corner, Van Dorn leads. Torborg in 2nd. He's managed to jump Lucchesi. Lucchesi's in 3rd, challenged by Caiado. Caiado into 3rd, and contact with Lucchesi's all gone wrong for Alessio. He's back to 8th. He's back to where he finished race. Whoa, contact! Villa's around! Villa's in big contact! Oh, it's all gone wrong! This is a moment to forget for Francisco Villa, and he's out! Francisco Villa is out of the race, and he quits in disgust. But Khan is involved, Gonçalves, Barbosa, Blaine, Wood. Oh, it's all gone wrong, Toby. Unbelievable stuff. I cannot believe Francisco Villa's luck. But Van Dorn leads.
How does Van Dorn lead? How the hell did he get that start? And Villa is going to be absolutely disgusted with whatever's just happened, whether it was his own fault or not. And he's had a terrible round at Laguna Seca. We thought it might be Barrick that had the bad round after his performance in Season 3. But Barrick looks like he's in a strong position in 4th. Talbot's still in 2nd, but Van Dorn absolutely murdered the start, went round the outside of everyone. Lauritsen's still mired in 6th position, but he's got plenty of time for him to make up positions. And NATO's down to 7th as well, so NATO having a poor start. Look at how much Caiado gained under braking onto the back of Talbot there.
Look how much he loses and hexes.
I know, but it's all gone off on the first lap, and Villa out of the race, and he's left the game as well, so he's absolutely disgusted with that.
He will be fuming. If I know Francisco, and I do know Francisco, he will be fuming, and I'm not looking forward to talking to him on Facebook later, because he will talk to me, and he will have a bit of a moan, I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure there will be some big connotations there, because it was right here, right where we are now, and it's a straight bit, it's a straight piece of course. I mean, how can it happen there without it being some kind of illegal contact, from whichever point of view, whether it's VR's fault or not?
The worst thing is that there was 1 or 2 Team Portugal, another satellite team, secondary teams if you will, but there was 1 or 2 of those drivers involved. So I wonder if VR was maybe collected or tagged by one of his sort of satellite teammates.
Unless there was some kind of incident, it was just a chain reaction and it was just a complete accident.
I mean, we didn't see. I was watching. Well, we did see, but I was watching the front of the field.
It's difficult to see because, of course, we're looking back from kind of like the point end of the field, right back through through a bunch of cars. I'm not able to see what happened, but VR. Oh, I just despair for him. He's had 2 terrible races once again. His luck this season has been awful. It just adds to the catalogue.
It really has been terrible. Meanwhile, Barrick's going up the inside of Kayado. He's not going to work through there, Keith.
He's not going to work through there. Oh, he's going to push too hard as well. And Braham's right in behind. Laurenson's not really gaining on these guys. And he was not able to the start that he wanted. He got a great start, but then got pinned against the wall. Whereas Van Dorn was in the perfect position just to drive right around the outside of everybody.
I have a feeling he was almost on the gravel at one point. That's how good his start was, and he had to go right to avoid cars in front of him. I've been there before as well.
Well, he did this at Nürburgring.
Well, yeah, but that was the wet. I assumed it was just because he got the throttle control perfect, but he must have a secret on the starts.
He did say. I know we took it jokingly at the time, but he did say he had a secret. And he wasn't going to tell us. Remember in the press conference after Nürburgring?
Yeah, I remember.
And maybe he was being deadly serious. He does have a secret.
I can't imagine what it'd be. I mean, unless he's figured out a way to get the clutch to exactly the right position. Maybe he's got secondary stuff on the clutch.
I mean, that's also one of the benefits of racing in real life. I know you know yourself, Toby.
Yeah.
One of the benefits in real life is sim racing. The starts are almost just kind of forgotten, whereas in real life it's so crucial because it's much more difficult to pass. And I'm pretty sure that's.
There are devices out there, Ryan. They have them in Formula 1 where you can have almost 2 clutches. You can have one clutch which has a sort of stop on it, and then you press another button or release another paddle or something, which then disengages that clutch. So you can have one clutch to exactly the right slip value. And it could well be that he's built himself one of those systems. This is all speculation. I have no idea what he's done. But it could
just be really good. We see you doing those sort of starts all the time.
Well, yeah, that's luck though. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. But this has been consistent from him. So Talbot's fastest lap. Close up on Van Dorn now. That's a very good time as well from Talbot.
This is very, very good time, and that is laying down the marker to Van Dorn. You are not getting away from me, Stoffel. I am right behind you. You may have beaten me at Nürburgring. You may have been stripped of the win at Nürburgring as a result. You may have beaten me at Nürburgring hands down if it hadn't been for the stripping afterwards. But Talbot is saying to Van Dorn, I am reigning champion. You might be the young hotshot who's come in and shown superb speed, but I'm the reigning champion and I want to win this race.
3/10 as well, that difference. That's not an insignificant amount. You might think, 3/10 is the blink of an eye. That's how long it takes for your eye to close and then reopen again. So it's really, in reality, it's nothing. But in racing terms, that's not an insignificant amount. And Talbot really putting the hammer down. It looks like he's
beautiful line there. That was
well.
Perfect through there. He's lost some time in that first sector, but I think the front-wheel drive cars often do through there.
It's the exit of the Andretti hairpin, I think, and also you lose a bit under braking. The rear-wheel drives are slightly better under braking, I believe.
Gap is still 0.8 as he comes to that line there, though. So Van Dorn's putting a foot down, pushing hard. Here is Van Dorn from Belgium. Races in the Formula Renault Eurocup 2.0 series in real life. Has had a test in the Formula Renault 3.5 cars also as well. I'm extremely jealous of that.
So am I.
If only I could do that. And to the line they go. 0.6 is the gap, so it's extremely close.
Van
so
Dorn's got
0.7 from Van Dorn and 0.8 there, probably from Talbot, it means. So,
yeah, so.
But it's very close because the BMW has higher tyre wear, so this is interesting. We didn't see a BMW versus front-wheel drive battle, did we? At any point in the last race.
We haven't all season, really. I mean, Bia's been quick, but it's always been a front-wheel drive car romping away with it, or a BMW romping away with it, as far as I can remember. This
is setting itself up very fascinating indeed, and we know Talbot, he'll just be keeping. I mean, he'll be wringing its neck, but he'll just be keeping up with Van Dorn. He won't be doing anything stupid.
One other thing I would say is that Yuri Braham has been very impressive so far. He's right on the back of Barrett for fourth place.
Absolutely, he's found some real speed. He really has, because he's struggled several tracks this season so far. And Lawrence is not gaining at all. Has Lawrence got some damage on the front of his car?
I don't know.
I just saw a quick glimpse there. No, he hasn't.
Yeah, no, he has. Look.
Oh, he has. Yeah, he has. Quite big. Well, not as.
Oh no! Oh,
no, it's okay. That's his normal driving style.
From this angle, it looked like he got it completely sideways.
Not as bad as Torborg though. Look.
No.
NATO was gaining on him. He's not gaining on the guys in front either.
No, but considering he romped away with it, I wonder if he's just one of those NATO-style drivers who likes to sit in front of the field and do fastest lap. Look at the battle between Barrick and Braham in front, by the way. Braham's got by Barrick. Yeah,
oh,
you see,
beautiful move there from Braham.
I was going to mention this. I should have done really, considering I am commentating. That Barrick got a much worse run onto the Rahal straight than Braham. He ran a little bit wide, got onto the gravel. So Braham obviously got a much better run, got into the slipstream, ducked out into the corkscrew and booked the pass. So it's a shame we missed that.
Barrick will not be liking Torborg ahead of him, will he?
No, we would. But at the time, we were debating how big a dent was in the front of.
We were indeed.
With Lauritsen's car.
We were. Yeah, it was crucial as well because obviously Lauritsen was a race winner before, and he has gained on these two now as a result of that. But quite a bigger margin actually. There's a 2-second gap before. Now it's just 0.7. So maybe he's got a bit of win. Maybe he's got a second win. Maybe he's just figured out how to drive the car. Maybe he's just got a bit of encouragement. In fact, maybe he's got a bit depressed in the opening laps, not able to keep up.
What I am interested by is that from nowhere, Barrick, if you remember, was right on the back of Callado, and they both, him and Braham, have dropped away a big time from Callado.
Oh, so. Barrick pushing hard.
But these two guys are obviously in the same car as well. They're both in the Honda. So,
absolutely. And
it's a literal tete-a-tete.
Yes, it is. Stop stealing my phrases, Tom.
I knew about that one.
And 8th place is Duarte Lopez. He'd be very pleased with that indeed. 9th place is Gary Lennon, once again hovering in that top 10, hovering in that top 8 position. Menacing as always, always getting in the way, always being a nuisance. I know you'll appreciate me saying that, if not. And we've got Lucchese in 9th. He obviously started on pole for this race and all went wrong in the first couple of corners. He got sideways. I wonder if that concertina affected what happened with VR later on. I guess we can only guess at that. 11th place, Lasky. 12th place, Gardner. Having a much happier race in the first race, of course, with that contact he had in the right here on the very first lap. 13th place is Amaral. 14th place is Isles. They're very spread out, in fact, back in the field. 15th place, Khan. 16th place, Gonsalves. A very spread out track, actually. For all its tight, twisty nature, it seems to spread out the field quite a lot. This is the most spread out I've actually seen the field this season.
Hugo Barbosa at the back of the field is a lap down on the leaders as well. So
he was involved in that. He was involved in that skirmish
was he one
with
of the
VR.
Gonsalves wasn't he? So that would
I believe so. Yes. I believe, but Barbosa might have had to pit for like a punch or something, perhaps.
Yeah.
Oh! That's not going to help you either, Hugo. Calm down, son.
Well, he's not really racing for anything. He's not really racing for anything, is he now? So he's just sort of lapping.
Well, he'll want to score points, of course, to stay in server 1. Otherwise, he'll be seeing himself drop to server 2.
That's true.
Danger of that.
Anything can happen at this point.
Absolutely. And he'll still score points, being 23rd, so not a big deal for him. And Van Dorn still leads. He's actually opened up a gap at 1.5 seconds, but it looks to me like that gap's a bit smaller in that final sector once again.
1.3 maybe, but nothing more than that.
I'm going to say 1.2. 1.4. Typical. Cayano in third. He's some 3 seconds back once again, so Cayano's been schooled again by the two guys at the front of the field, whether it's been Van Dorn or Lauritsen. And Nate, Barrick has pitted, I believe. We've just missed Barrick pitting. Barrick has pitted, here he is.
That's very early. Well, it's not very early, is it, really?
Wait, it's end of lap 7, we've got 17 laps.
Yeah, but we saw pit guys coming in around this time last time.
He's obviously found
a gap. Yeah, but he's obviously found a gap, look, that he can slot into.
Well, there's Carver.
If he doesn't lose out here.
Carver's going to go past. There is Carver, trying to go past. It's going to be close. There's Leslie Lucchese. Oh, and Carver's not going to go past. Oh. Get your skates on, Michael! And Carver not able to go past.
Anyway, Barrick's got a nice big gap.
Carver is the only driver, along with Keith Barrick, to have attended every single ATCC race. And taken part in every single ATCC race, including the second race, if that makes sense, in every event. So he really is a record holder in that respect. And one of the most solid races you'll ever see in the league. He's hauled himself up towards into server 1 as well, and has stayed there.
Very solid, isn't he, Michael Carver? He's always...
Absolutely. He never does anything stupid, never gets involved. I never hear about him getting involved with anything at all. Well, he did get penalised at Road America, actually, for some contact with somebody else. That's the first time he's ever been penalised in the ATCC.
He's like the good kid in school that doesn't do anything, just sits there in the corner, gets good grades. You know, his penalisation, it was probably because he was chewing gum.
I mean, that's rebel, that is. Rebel.
That sort of analogy.
Lauritsen, that's sort of analogy. I think my candy one was better. Lauritsen has pitted and got ahead of NATO. They were ahead anyway, but it's closer look. Much closer. And NATO knows where the pit exit is. Will he be able to use it? No, he doesn't use it. But who's gone past? Was that Barrick going past him?
Yes, I think so. Let's have a look.
Oh! Graham off! And Barrick has passed them all.
There goes through Barrick. Barrick's done them all.
Barrick's done them all.
He's going to go past Gallardo.
Through the inside contact. Gallardo doesn't like it, but Barrick has to go through. Barrick is through. So that's a net third position there for Keith. He was in fifth before the pit stops.
For now.
That's worked out beautifully. We're criticising the fact that he pitted so early. It's worked. It's worked beautifully.
For now, though, it's a net third. But remember, because he's pitted early, his tyres will drop off towards the end of the race. So
only
whether or not he can hold on to it, Gallardo is going to have to defend very hard from Braham here. We've seen Braham get by Barrick, we think, coming into the corkscrew because of the exit. Look at the exit he's got.
Oh, he had to check up almost. It was such a good exit.
He's still in the slipstream. If he's brave, he'll send one. He's not going to.
No, you just cannot do it for that. How close these drivers are in such a tight corner, you just cannot do it. Not all Toby Davis. And Lauritsen is still ahead of NATO. In fact, the gap is, say, pretty much the same after that, despite the fact they were very close. But Lasky into the pit. Torborg has not pitted. That's interesting. Very interesting indeed. Van Dorn has pitted.
And he'll be quite close to Barrick here, I should think.
Oh, Torborg has pitted. Torborg pitted last time around. Yes, I'm talking rubbish. Torborg pitted last time around. I was going to say, that's very strange for a front-wheel drive car to pit.
Oh, look at this.
Not pit before halfway.
Traffic here is Van Dorn. Talbor's going to come sweeping round with warm tyres.
I've lost him because it's all coming out of the pit. Oh, look at this traffic he's got. Van Dorn's right in the middle of it all.
Well, I was exactly
Let's go through. This could be distracting though. Rather than, I don't think it's going to slow him up too much, but it could be distracting. But of course, Torborg now has to deal with it as well.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to this really, because Van Dorn. I mean, Van Dorn has got through, but Amaral's racing for position here.
Absolutely, that's true. That is true. And Amaral is pulling over. That's very generous. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, I wouldn't have done that. I definitely would not have done that. But then we saw Lasky doing it as well, so...
We did. What's up with all these guys?
I don't know, maybe it's an unwritten rule that we don't know about.
There's not an unwritten rule in my book. I wouldn't do it.
Being TPS staff, as we are. We haven't written any unwritten rules into our rules, have we?
No, we haven't written any unwritten rules. The gap was 1.3 from Van Dorn to Van Dorn wide. Did that earlier. Of course, Babos is being lapped, so he is able to move out of the way. I was
panic.
Right, all right. I like panicking. It's exciting. Racing.
I'll get you some chocolate later.
No, I want to sleep.
Look at this gap. It's going to be less than a second now. Watch.
No, 1.1. Oh, what?
0.7.
You're much better at me than this. I'm going to move on to somebody else. Kaido and Braham. Look at how close this is still.
Braham is definitely going to have a go now.
Barrick's not hanging with them. He's under threat from Lauritsen, and Lauritsen's pulled away from NATO, so...
It's because of Barrick's newer tyre. He took those tyres earlier, remember?
Only one lap, though. It should make that much of a difference.
Oh, he's on the inside. Doesn't work.
It never works. You just bump too much, don't you?
Yeah,
never ever works on the inside there.
Not unless they give you half a car's width, and then you can sort of stick your nose in and hope you use the contacts. I shouldn't be saying this really, but it's what you do. You stick your nose in and hope they give you half a car's width. If they do,
while these guys, it reminds me actually, while these guys are battling, we have Mr. C is back in the ATCC because he had that terrible car crash where he went underneath a lorry. His car went underneath a lorry in a car crash in I think it was in Germany if I recall correctly. And but he's back now racing with us, and he's in Server 2. And Kenny Duval was joking with him that he's now got a big target on his back. And Kenny Duval was joking that now because he's posted that his penalty is going to be 18 points when he hits Mr. C instead of 3 points because of the joke.
This is Mr. C. I wish you all the best, but please don't get into Server 1 because I hate trying to pronounce your name.
We're just going to call him Kara. Bogdan's okay. Bogdan's easy. Let's call him Bogdan. We'll call everyone else Braham and Barrick.
Bogdan Karamadaru.
Tormodaro and Ray
just
Bogdan.
about do it. Yes.
It's easy. And Bogdan.
Okay. Anyway, whilst we've been chatting away,
Braham has been.
They've all closed up. Look.
Yeah, Braham has been all over the back. Kayado. He really wants past. He wants a
There's
podium.
no way through though. There really is no way through. Cardo's placing his car perfectly, and he's doing the Talbot thing of not defending unless he absolutely has to, which is crucial in these cars.
Absolutely.
He turns in ever so slightly early, and he holds the apex, but he's not He's not defending thin air, and that's.
Looks to me like his tyres are going off, though. You know, looks like the tyres are struggling.
Yeah, well, they're all.
The more you defend,
gathering up as well to the back of this pack.
Braham really wants past. Really wants past. Oh, he needs to get a better run through there. That was his opportunity just then. That was his opportunity, I thought, to get a run and get up the inside down here.
He just washed wide, and he missed the apex by just half a foot or so.
And then pushed too hard and just washed even more.
He's done it again as well. He missed the curve.
Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Watching through here.
He's very quick through here, isn't he? Very quick through here.
Whether he runs wide is what I'm thinking.
Oh,
sideways!
He's very
look, here comes Barrett. Got to do him now. Oh, he nearly hit the back!
Side by side. He's defending. Braham's going to undo all that hard work that he's done. He's going to. Oh, Barrett's gone for it. He's gone a beautiful braking zone and gone past him. Barrett, like a vulture, just sweeps through and picks up the pieces. Opportunistic as always. That's why he's been a champion before. That's why he's a championship leader.
Curse of the commentator. He's excellent through here, Ryan says. Graham gets it sideways. Through goes Keith. And takes the position away. It's going to be another fourth place for Keith. But where's NATO?
Oh, contact! Graham says, I don't like spinning at the corner. Then I'm going to put you off anyway, despite the fact it's not your fault.
Just by the way, Stoffel, Van Dorn and Talbot 0.6 now. It was 0.7 and
yeah. Just by the way, if the race win, just
for the race win.
Yes,
Talbot's just closing a little bit.
Van Dorn and Talbot at the front of the field. Van Dorn wants this win. This is going to be, in fact, this will be 6 podiums in a row for Van Dorn. I mean, he's going to get a podium. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah.
It'll be 6 podiums in a row. That'll be a second, a first, a third, a first, a second, and potentially a first. That's a phenomenal run of results.
And considering it came in late, he's had no experience with these cars either.
Look how good he was through there. That was beautiful. That was
right up the edge of the curb. Right up the edge of the curb.
Poetry. Oh, that was like reading Tennyson, that was.
You could see the car just dancing on the limit though, couldn't you? Just all the way through the corner as he turned it in.
You know, you can appreciate
the edge of the curb.
You know, you can appreciate speed in car control. That was all of it right there.
Reminds me of Senna at Adelaide in 1985 for the Lotus win. The Lotus Runner.
Here comes Toby with his 1954, and it was Mike Hawthorne versus Sterling Moss for the race win, and Sterling Moss pipped him by 0.4 of a second.
Anyway,
those who don't know, Toby Davis is extremely big Formula 1 buff. Oh, Barrett's gone wide. Braham's now right on the back of him. Right on the back.
See, Graham did have Callan to have a play with. Now he's got Barrick once again. And
to have a play with?
You know what I meant.
I'm sure Graham appreciates that. Let's play with the rear of the other people. Never mind.
Anyway,
we'll move on quickly from that. Lawrence is not gaining at all. Not able to make him move at any point, despite the fact that he's been battling really hard. Means what's up with him?
Well, he's got that bit of damage, remember, to the front of his car that we were.
Still, I mean, Talbot was able to fight.
We
had more damage.
Well, Talbot. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to determine how much that damage actually affects the cars, though. Obviously, because we're not driving them, and we can only sort of guess. And,
but Talbot's looked worse, didn't it? Talbot's was much
yeah, but
bigger.
That doesn't mean. But it could have just been aerodynamic, not necessarily like suspension, for example, or just an example that's off the top of my head. And it affects the car in different ways. Obviously, his is rear-wheel drive, isn't it, for Lawrence, and that car's very understeery. He set it up very understeery, so it protects the rear tyres towards the end of the race. Oh, look,
here's these guys. I mean, this is beautiful racing from both of these guys. This is really intense. No, for the casual viewers, there's nothing much happening, but this is as intense as it gets. This is high quality racing.
All you have to do is go on board with Talbot, and you'll be able to see their exact lines, and just watch how right up onto the limit that Stoffel is using the curbs and the lines, and how Talbot's matching him in a completely different car. It's a completely different way of driving as well.
Oh, Van Dorn struggling. He struggled at the final corner just then. He's now struggled at the second corner. Those tyres are going off. I can see it right now. Those tyres are going off on that BMW, and the tyres in the Honda, which is in the front wheel drive cars, which bizarrely, I don't know why Simbin do this, but the front wheel drive cars don't wear the tyres as much as the rear wheel drive cars, which is completely the opposite of real life. Tolborg seems to be able to use his tyres a bit, lean on them a bit more, especially under braking.
Especially under braking, you can see how squirmy that Van Dorn is under braking, just like Lauritsen. You see, now I'm thinking, yes, but it's better to be the chaser than the one being chased, though, isn't it? Always.
No, tell that to Lauritsen in the first race when I tipped Van Dorn to pass him.
Exactly. We said in the first race, Van Dorn would get Lauritsen. Oh, look at that over the curve on the right hand side.
If it had a different skin, I think it was Lauritsen.
I know, but Van Dorn, in this position, I'd pick Taubo to get Van Dorn.
Oh, look at the beautiful line there Taubo was able to use, because Van Dorn's pushing through the exit, the corkscrew, and that compromises your run through Rainy, doesn't it? And then now Tolborg has a good run through Rainy, which then means you've got a good run through the next corner because you're already on the perfect line. So it's surprising, but because the corners are so far apart, but the corkscrew is so crucial to the next few corners, the flow of them.
Absolutely.
If you just half
far over to the right hand side after the corkscrew as possible. Oh, look at Taubo, he's having a look.
Oh, he's having a little bit of a look.
He's just going to test him.
Yes, he was exactly that.
You're not going to. I mean, as a real life racer, you're not going to test. You're not going to scare watch someone into making a silly defensive move there. I don't think. But Taubo, he knows how to play this game, and he's playing with. He's trying to play with Stoffel's head. Whether or not it's going to work, I don't know. But it's exactly what I do in that position. He was never going to be making that move.
But these are the two most. These are the two coolest heads in the ATCC. I've got to say. Tolborg always keeps his cool, always keeps calm, always makes logical and rational decisions. And from what we've seen of Van Dorn over the past 6 races, I mean, you can say the same thing, right?
I haven't seen him. Obviously, he lost that one of those race wins, but that was because of a track boundary issue, not really because he made a mistake or made contact with someone else. So yeah, I'd have to agree with you. These two have got very cool heads on them. They're both from the same sort of part of the world, though. So but perhaps it's a little bit genetic. Maybe it's a little bit the way they're brought up. I don't know. It's
Van Dorn from Belgium, of course, but I couldn't agree there, Toby, because De Grief is from Belgium, and despite the fact De Grief is very fast, you wouldn't call him cool, calm and collected.
Does he make a mistake when he's out on his own?
That's true. But But Van Dorn's able to race with other people as well without making a mistake. Well, De Grief is as well, I guess. Now, I'm a bit harsh to Gregory there, but
I think you are really, because Gregory gets frustrated when there's any contact involved. But you can have a clean race with Gregory De Grief. Anyway,
Casey's out the race.
What happened there?
I don't know what happened there, but Casey's out the race, and we got Barrick and Braham together. This is the final lap, by the way, guys. Which while we've been chatting away, Tolborg and Van Dorn discussing the two merits of these two fine drivers. These two seem to be separated a little bit. We'll just keep an eye on the sector next time around. But this is the big battle. Kayada got ahead of Barrick again. Braham has got ahead of Barrick again.
What?
Oh,
here comes Barrick.
Barrick's coming back at him down the inside. As Barrick would say, book it. Down the inside comes Keith Barrick and takes the position.
An excellent move actually from Barrick, because that's not normally an overtaking spot. Oh, Barrick's run wide. Here comes Braham. Here comes Braham. He's in the slipstream. If he sends one up, Barrick will jump out of the way here.
No, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. He's not got any overlap at all. And if you don't have any overlap, there's no room. Absolutely zero room. Identical cars, close competition, and Braham looks like he's going to have to settle for that 5th position again. But Tolborg and Van Dorn come to the final corner, and Van Dorn's going to win. He's going to take his 3rd win of the season. Van Dorn wins it. A superb drive there from the Belgian driver. He drove from 7th on the grid to the lead of the race and led the rest of the way, despite immense pressure from the reigning champion Jesper Tolborg. 3rd place, Andre Kayada. He'll be very pleased with that indeed. 4th place, Keith Barrick, and battling 4th place for Keith Barrick. 5th place, Yuri Braham. Looked like he made a podium at points. And NATO got Lauritsen. That's crucial, because that puts NATO another position closer to Barrick in the championship battle. Lauritsen finishes 7th. That's disappointing for him. A 1st and a 7th for him. 8th place, Duarte Lopez. He'll be very pleased with that. 9th place, Lennon. He'll be pleased as well. 10th place, Nelson. It's 9th and 10th for Aerospeed. 11th was Kane Lasky. A very average round here for him. 12th place, Darius Widerski. 13th, Hugo Gonçalves. 14th, here, Pedro Amaral. 15th, Vincent Kahn. 16th, Reggie Blaine. 17th was Robert Ailes. 18th was Reece Gardner in the end. That's all gone wrong for him in the end, eventually, it seems. 19th place, come across the line. Here is Paul Wood. Crossing the line now for 19th. 20th place goes to Michael Carver, just fending off Elio Lucchese to the line. And 22nd, Hugo Barbosa, the last of the finishers, a lap down. And it's VR and, of course, Alessio Lucchese, who did not finish this race. But a great win there for Van Dorn.
Oh, it's excellent in the end. I thought he was going to be under bigger pressure from Tauborg, but it looks like he had the pace and he wasn't defending, didn't need to defend from Jesper Tauborg. So and I think Jesper really settled for second position in the end. He knows that Van Dorn's not, for now anyway, an immediate championship rival. So he would have taken that second position. And
if he carries on like this, Toby.
Well, I mean, Van Dorn's shown extremely, as we were saying. There's now, what's that, 6 podiums in a row, did you say?
Excellent. 6 podiums in a row.
With plenty of wins in there as well.
Exactly.
So.
Half of those are wins.
Exactly.
And we are now joined by Stoffel Van Dorn. Stoffel.
Hey, all.
Superb performance there, really. A second and a first. I mean, did you think you could do anything about Lauritsen in the first race?
Well, he was really fast, so, and in the end, I saw he really suffered with his tires, but he just didn't make any mistakes, so I couldn't find a way past him, and I decided to finish second because it also gives a better starting position for race 2.
Oh, clever. We see that you took advantage of that as well in race 2. I mean, it was a superb start again.
Yeah, I had a really good start, so it was good. I finished second in race 1 because then I could start on the outside, so I had a bit more room to pass the other guys.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to go to rolling starts for both races the way you're starting because you keep making everyone look silly. But then in the second race, you came under huge pressure from Jesper Torborg. I mean, he's the reigning champion, and he was very close in behind you for the entire race. I mean, how did that feel?
Well, in the beginning, I tried to really push hard and try to drive away from him, and I got like a little gap. But then after the pit stop, it was really difficult, and at the end of the race, my tires were really gone. So I think he was a little bit faster, but also he couldn't find a way past. So the track is really difficult to pass somebody if you make no mistakes.
Well, I mean, you've got your championship. Despite the fact you missed the first 2 races, you've got your championship, well and truly on track. That's 6 podiums in a row, Stoffel. I mean, you had a headline from Danny Asbury called "Unstoppable." I mean, do you think you can actually go through and win this title?
Well, I think after these 2 races, I'm back in business to win the championship. So of course, the next races I'll really push hard and try to win it.
Well, it's great to watch, Stoffel, and we enjoy having you in the races. And so good luck for the rest of the season, and congratulations on your results today.
Thank you.
And we're going to quickly move on to Mr. Braham, who's joined us very quickly. 2 very eventful races there, Yuri, and you showed a lot more pace than perhaps you promised in pre-practice. Did it just click at some point?
Well, I had some good pre-practice on the other days. My pace was really, I think my pace was really there to get a podium. Mm-hmm. It was just not the aggression that I have on the track. Sometimes I tried it, but I saw some dangerous maneuvers in race 2 when I got out of the pit. Whoa, I don't know if you saw that, but
there was some action. There was some action.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in the pre-practice, my pace was slow, but that wasn't the correct setup I used, so it was just a surprise act.
I mean, just describe how you what happened in race 1 for you.
Race 1, the strange thing was Francisco was on pole. I was on 3rd after the qualify, and before Francisco crossed the finish, I think Stoffel already overtook him, and Alexander overtook me before the start-finish line. So I think there's gonna be an how do you say it?
Investigation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah. It did seem quite strange that start. We joined as the speak of the devil. Congratulations on your results, by the way, Yuri. Sorry to just dump you there. But Francisco VR has jumped into the chat here, and he has told us he was sideways exiting the corkscrew, and Caiado hit him and got a suspension problem as a result. So as we surmised, Toby, actually it was a mistake by VR in that first race. But in the second race, he was hit by Nelson in the first lap, he was saying. So, just quickly, VR, before you go into those two incidents, which obviously affected your racing quite hard, what happened at the start of race 1? Did you go late, or did you feel the other people went early?
No, I've seen the replay already. I am pretty sure that Lauritsen was one car ahead, and I wasn't even in the start-finish line yet. So I guess he jumped the start. Lauritsen jumped the start in the first race, and so Stoffel came in behind with him. He got the tow, and he got through me as well. Right.
Okay. So that clears it up. Now, obviously this is painful for me to talk about it, Francisco. But what happened in the first race? You say you got sideways through corkscrew?
Yeah, the car not usually, but lots of times it gets sideways there, and Caiado, I don't know, he just kept his line, and he hit me really hard on my back, sending my car to spin. So.
We saw you in the gravel. Did Tolborg hit you as well? Because Tolborg had some big damage on his car also.
No, I don't think Tolborg. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Perhaps Jesper hit Caiado then.
I think he hit me. I think he hit me when I was spinning.
Right. Okay.
Tolborg.
Yeah, Tolborg had some huge damage on his car. It really affected his race. And then in the second race, Francisco, we just saw you spinning in the middle of the pack. Obviously, we were looking through a load of cars, and then you're just spinning off the track. And quickly, just walk us through what happened there. You've had all the bad luck this season so far.
Yeah, I know. I had a good start, and then I was being very careful through the first corner because you have like 10 cars around you, so you have to be really careful. Mm-hmm. And then suddenly, I think Eric Nelson didn't see me, and he just tapped the back of my car really, really hard, and it started spinning, and I was hit by 5 or 6 cars in a row.
Yeah, I mean, with everyone being so close together, I mean, you look like you're completely unavoidable because you were sideways across the track, unfortunately, and.
Yeah, I was sideways because I just couldn't do anything about it. But Eric is sorry about that. But there was nothing I could do when he tapped the back of my car.
Well, commiserations to you, Francisco. Obviously, that's a bit of a blow to your championship hopes, and those 2 races will be dropped for you. So now that hurts you quite a bit for the final 3 races because you've not got much cushion there. So, commiserations to you. Better luck in the next races. Thanks for coming to talk to us, at least.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. I would just ask for the drivers to be more careful in the next races.
Hopefully they will be, and we're actually going to talk to a couple of drivers now who are in here. First of all, Alexander Lauritsen. Francisco says that he feels that you were ahead at the start line on the formation lap. What do you think about that?
No.
No.
That will I not say. I do.
I mean, did you feel that you were in the right position, or?
Yeah, I think I was in the right position.
Okay. That's obviously that's typical, isn't it, Toby? The 2 drivers having differing points of view.
Yeah. Okay.
Alex, just describe what happened in the first race also as well with your battle with Van Dorn. I mean, that was very intense.
Yes, I have a great first race with Stoffel, and my setup was good. But in race 2, it was very bad.
We saw you some damage in race 2. Where did you sustain that?
Yeah, I don't know. I came in some trouble in the first corner. And after that, I had a suspension.
Yeah, you look like you were struggling quite a bit with your car.
Yeah.
But congratulations for now for your win in the first race, and it was a very good drive despite whatever happened at the start. We're going to now. Who should move on? Oh, Eric Nelson quickly. Just describe what happened with you and Veer on the first lap.
Well, we went into the hairpin. I was following my teammate from Aerospeed 2, Gary Lennon. I stuck it way to the inside. If you look at me coming out of the second apex of there, I actually have my lefts fully into the dirt. And my bumper stuck a little bit on Gary coming off, and I didn't want to turn him around, and let off a little bit. And when he took off, my car started going to the right very quickly, being a front-wheel drive car, and caught the back of Francisco. I felt terrible about it. As soon as soon as we got done with the race, I went up to his channel to apologize, because I know he's one of the championship contenders, and I wouldn't want to get in his way. In fact, in race 1, coming out of the pits, he came up fast on me out of Andretti hairpin, and I gave him a lot of room in the right-hander to go through as best I could on cold tires. He gave me a little tap, pushed me off, but I had no problem with that, because I was just trying to get out of his way so he can continue the fight without me getting in his way.
Okay, so thank you for popping in, Eric. I mean, how did the races go for you from your point of view, just quickly?
Actually, better than I had hoped. I was pretty slow on the timesheet. Didn't do well in qualifying, but managed to move up through the field in race 1 due to some incidents in front of me that I didn't get caught up in, and then just Raceville tried to stay clean and get a decent stop despite a bad pit stall. So I can't complain. 10th and 11th for me actually is pretty solid given this group of drivers I'm with.
They are pretty damn good. I'm quite scared of them. Thanks for joining us, Eric, and good luck in the rest of the season also as well. And congratulations on the results today.
Appreciate that.
No problem. I'm going to quickly move on. Toby's got a few questions for Miguel.
Yeah, I just want to know whether you feel a little bit disappointed that you've lost out to Stoffel. He's obviously had a very good second half of the season so far since he joined the championship. Do you think you're still in with a chance?
Miguel?
Oh, sorry, Ryan.
It's okay, mate.
Sorry, I'm not listening.
Okay.
Toby was asking whether you still have you are still confident about your championship hopes.
Yes.
Yeah, after this race, I'm in the fight, but it's very difficult because the other drivers are very competitive. In practice for Laguna. I saw this event is very difficult for me because I'm not in great pace, and I try to set up my car with a balance for a good second half of the races. If I knew that in the final I came out of Laguna with a third and a sixth, I'm very happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how did you manage to get that sixth place at the end? Because we saw you were behind Alexander coming into the final lap, and by the finish line you got ahead of him. How did that happen?
Yeah, in the 2 laps from the end, I'm closer in Alex, and he committed an error in the penultimate turn. And I pass him and then fight with in braking late in the last corner, and finish in sixth.
Okay, well a third and a sixth is excellent for you, Keith. Moving on
to
you. 2 fourth positions, I believe.
Yes.
You must be happy with that, considering Laguna last time round was your bogey track, and this time round it appears that you've managed to avoid that, and Via's unfortunately got the curse.
Especially after that qualifying, Keith.
Oh, don't remind me. Qualifying went awful. I actually had the pace to sit into 5th, actually be ahead of Jesper. He messed up sector 2. I had sector 2 down. The final sector, I don't know what I was thinking in the penultimate corner. I hit the red bump on the inside of the curbs, which you couldn't hit it if you tried, and I managed to do it in quali. Totally ruined my lap, and I was really disheartened headed into the race. And it's not easy. I got to give the guys who do start, who are in the middle of the pack for trying their best, because it's not easy going into the hairpin here at that kind of speed with this tight of a track and not have an incident. It's just so difficult because you're trying to predict what the guy in front, the guy behind, the guy beside is going to do, and I mean, really, it's a tough thing to do. There's no two ways about it, and I was just happy to get through in race 1, and the race went pretty well. I struggled in the first stint of race 1. So I pitted a little early, hoping to gain a little ground. And Andre and I believe it was Yuri had pitted as well. But I had taken advantage of the misfortune of Francisco and Jesper, obviously, coming through the corkscrew. I could hardly even see anything when I came over, and it was just smoke everywhere, and I lucked out. Just like they say in Days of Thunder, go high, you can't hold it, Cole. And I just closed my eyes and just made it through. But after the pit stops, I managed to come out. I believe it was just behind Miguel, and I thought for sure, I can't quite remember exactly how race 1 ended, but I was happy taking a 4th. I would have liked to have been ahead of Miguel, but I just didn't have it that race. Race 2, was pretty pleased with my start, got through pretty cleanly, and
You're answering all our questions, Keith. We're not getting a chance to say anything.
Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
I mean, how did you get such a good start in race 1? Because you started 12th and you're immediately 8th. I mean, how did that come about in race 1?
Okay,
you described how you could start, but how did that actually come about? I mean, that's 4 positions. That's not nothing.
Everyone kind of went wide, and I was holding the inside really, really tight, and I knew that if I kept my speed fairly low, and there was a bit of contact, all the contact's going to move out. So I stayed to the inside. They're going to push towards the outside of the track, and I kept really tight to the curbing. As I came around, there was a bit of contact. I got into the left rear quarter of Hugo just slightly and sent him a little sideways, and then that was how I made up the position.
Penalty for Keith.
Yeah, but no, it was tough though, because I mean you're trying not to punt someone off, but you're also trying to make up time, and all I was thinking was I need to make up positions because I can't. It's so hard to pass at this track, as you obviously saw today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then in the second race you had a great battle with Yuri and yourself. I mean, you're both great friends and you've raced together for a long time. I mean, how was that?
It was fantastic. I mean, me and Yuri obviously were brother teams, sister teams, whatever you want to call it, and we were battling pretty well. It was fun going back and forth. But I mean, essentially, I was in third, and there was a very questionable move. I don't know if you caught it by Andre. He was about 4/10 back and tried to go up the inside of me in the last corner.
We didn't catch it, actually, no. Didn't quite catch it.
It never would have worked, and he just moved me wide, and both of them went by, and that was when I lost the third position, and then I was
controversy galore here today.
And I mean, I don't know all the circumstances because I haven't had a chance to watch the replay, but it was extremely late, and there was no chance of the move being made. It was almost like me at KW on Miguel.
Oh, it all comes out now. It all comes out now. He was refusing to take responsibility for that earlier on. But anyway, congratulations on your result, Keith. We'll shut you up there because you put on a monologue, fella.
I know.
And congratulations to all the drivers here today. There's been lots of controversy, especially with the championship contenders, and I'm sure myself and Keith are looking forward to kind of making sense of it all afterwards, aren't we, Keith?
Yes.
And
yes.
But thank you to all the drivers for joining us. Thank you for coming for an interview also as well. We're just going to quickly get a sum up of the race from Toby. Then we're going to talk about obviously the sponsorship deal we've got. I know Keith wants to say a piece about that. So Toby, just sum the race up quickly. We jumped to the interviews quite quickly. I just wanted to have a quick word with them.
Yeah, we've seen a fair few different results than what we might have imagined before. Obviously, you've got Stoffel with the first and the second. Excellent results for him. That puts him right up there in the championship hunt. And you've got Via, who had a couple of bad results. I feel really bad for him, actually. He couldn't have got worse luck, really, this season so far. But he's still in with the shout. He needs a couple of good results next couple of rounds. And obviously, Keith will be happy with 2/4. I'm sure he'll still manage to fit that in somewhere when he's doing his spiel in a few minutes' time. But yeah, it's one of those ATCC races where the grid gets shuffled and stuff happens.
It was up and down. Apart from Van Dorn getting first and second, I mean everybody else was in kind of either at one end of the scale or not, or just always in the middle. And there was not many championship contenders all together all of the time, was there?
I'll put it this way: it'll be a low-scoring prediction game round.
Yes,
that's the best way. That's the best way of putting it.
And so thank you, Toby, for that quickly summing up. And
no worries.
Now Keith's going to talk about this very exciting partnership we've got with Viper SR.
Yes, extremely exciting stuff. Viper SR, or Viper Technologies is the company, but if you go to vipersr.com, they have worked a deal with us for the next 2 upcoming Touring Pro Series broadcasts, where we're going to be doing giveaways for the viewers of Touring Pro Series events, and it's not just a couple small few things. They've really stepped up. They're trying to get a little bit of a presence in Europe, and what they're trying to do. This is coming from Jason from marketing from Viper Technologies. He said he wants so many people watching the broadcast that the stream shuts off. The machine blows up. We want to shut it down, and but in the end, the viewers end up winning because what they're going to be doing is they're going to be giving away a race seat or $300 cash to, depending on your location, a race seat's going to go to someone from North America, and 300 cash to someone from Europe if they do win. The idea is what he has in mind is for the second race, there's going to be a link to click. You have to pick the winner of the race. If there is 3 people, 10 people, there will be a randomizer draw for one of the 10 people to win that grand prize. However, also during both races, there will be trivia questions for $50 gift cards to iRacing or also to their products as well too. Now that's going to be, both of those things are going to happen on the Clio day and also on the ATCC day. So make sure you stay up.
Just to remind people, is the 14th of March, which is a week on Wednesday. That's at 8 o'clock GMT. And on the 16th of March, which is a Friday, it's kind of a Saturday for the, of course, for the Europeans, because it's at 2 in the morning. Sorry, carry on, Keith.
Yeah, and you're going to want to stay up for sure, because I mean, where are you going to have the odds to win $300 like a one in? Well,
of course, the racing's not too bad either.
Yeah, the racing's not too bad, but the whole idea is to get some brand awareness, and also we're trying to give back to the people who are supporting what we're doing and watching and staying up so late to watch. And the other thing was, he did say there's going to be some bonuses, and Jason's a really great guy. He's got a huge passion for this. He will be with us in the chat room. We'll have a brand new chat room set up for that event. He will be there in the chat room speaking to everybody, and he just kind of goes on the cuff. He could give away more. He also said there's going to be some bonuses, which could mean there could be some prizes for the race winners of those respective events. So,
boy, am I happy it's Thruxton next then.
Yes, yeah, your favorite track, and also your favorite cars too. So we both get a chance to, and we'll probably just put it right back in Touring Pro Series anyways.
You still haven't got that win, Keith.
Oh, don't start. But a big thanks to Jason.
Yes.
Keep an eye out on our Facebook page on the Touring Pro Series forum for all the information. We're going to be posting up more details as they come, and we got a bunch of new surprises coming up for the next broadcast with the way we put things together. So thanks, guys, and thanks, Ryan and Toby. I'm done.
Okay, so the Facebook page is facebook.com/TouringProSeries. Very simple, and it's just TouringProSeries.com. Also very simple, so you can. That's very easy for you guys to. And also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/TouringProSeries. And of course, our RD forums you can also peruse. Of course, supported by Race Department We Are, and they've supported us for many years, and they're great supporters of us. And our forums are on their forums, but the ATCC forum is on there as well as the Touring Pro Series forums, which also form the rest of the leagues, don't they, Toby? Which we have Clio's a week on Wednesday, which is the next broadcast, as Keith was saying, and of course that's when we have the giveaway, and then the next ATCC broadcast is in 2 weeks' time, where we're live from Vitus Park, and it's going to be in the wet, Toby. And Vitus Park is where you took your first ever TPS win.
It certainly is. I'll be looking forward to racing against you at Thruxton as well in the Clios. It's about time we had a head-to-head battle, and I'm looking forward to that one. Thruxton is a track I've driven in real life, so I do have that slight advantage. I know how much you like it.
Well, I've got 6 wins from 6 there, so you're going to have to go some. I shouldn't be so bullish because I've led 48 laps this season so far and not won a race, so I'm going to shut up now. But we're going to leave you with
by my teammates.
Going to leave you with the videos, the promo videos, and also just the Viper SR promotion again. If you want to have a quick look at that, and well, thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you for Toby for joining me, and of course thank you to Race Department, Multi BC, SimSync, Touring Pro Series, all the staff at Touring Pro Series, and thank you to the viewers for watching it again as well, and the races for entertaining us, of course. And we'll see you on Wednesday.